Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Darlene. Thank you for being here, especially to those that are coming back, and a very warm welcome to anyone who's new for the first time. Come on in, get yourself a cup of tea. We're about to get some tea on your person. Excuse me. So this is for people who know their person is in another relationship. If it's something you don't know already, then this is not your reading. So let's get into it, my friends. Let's find out. We want to know, what does it look like between your person and that other person? Are they happy, or what's going on? Or, let's just find out. So we're asking, thank you, Tara. Thank you to my team. Please show us an insight into the relationship between my collective audience and their person, the third party. Please and thank you. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well out there. It's almost the 4th of July. That's tomorrow when I'm recording this. And by the way, my readings are timeless, so it doesn't matter. Whenever you find it is perfect timing. Thank you. Okay. I will wait and speak, and I'll show you the cards. I know you can't see them in this view that I've got going here. Let's see. Give me one more, please. Also, guys, while I'm shuffling, I do go live here on YouTube 2 or 3 times a week. Typically evenings, sometimes on the weekend. I go during the day earlier. So I hope you will subscribe so you get and be sure your notifications turned on. I do like weekly or weekend check-ins as well as mini reads, and they're very inexpensive. So if you need a reading, please hop on there and make your requests. And I also have, come on, just one more card, please. Other playlist. I have a long playlist of deceased loved ones, so if you have lost a friend or relative, you might find a message from them there. Okay, well, we turn it over. Sometimes that means they want it the other way. Whoa, that's too many. Half the deck. So, and you're on the edge of your seat, Scorpios. Oh, Scorpio, sorry. This is collective. I just did 2 Scorpio readings. That's why I said that. My bad. Really, I just want one more little card. Can you just give me one more just to verify that's what I think it is, please? I don't think so. I think this is a no. All right, all right. Let's go with this. And I'm also going to ask how your person feels about this third party. So, I've got the King of Wands. Now, this first set of cards is what's kind of the general, what's the status of their relationship. King of Wands in reverse. He's very materialistic. He's shallow. He's self-serving. He's all about himself. He can't pass a mirror without looking in it, that kind of thing. So I don't know if this is your person or the person we're dealing with, or both of them it could be. And it's like, well, I didn't, my brain's not in sync with my tongue. Bear with me. Now, they could be kind of looking for their ships to come in some way. This is also making plans, waiting on divine timing. Could be waiting on divine timing for things to expand, for there to be nurturing and creativity. I'm going to read this a second way in a moment. Because somebody here is trying to manifest, because right now it's feeling a bit like a failure. And somebody here is not very forthcoming with their love, not to mention, ooh, I have the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck in reverse. This talks about a breakup. Okay. Now, there's a couple of ways I can interpret this. I have the Empress in the middle. For a very few of you, maybe just one or two, this is saying somebody may be trying to make plans to even get pregnant. They could be waiting for their ships to come in, meaning that I hope your person's person isn't trying to trap your person in some form or fashion, or maybe not. Maybe this is all happiness and whatever, although I don't have any cups here, speaking of emotions, because somebody's trying to manifest this. So it's like I've got this Empress is between making plans, hoping my ships come in, I'm manifesting something, I have all the skills and the resources to manifest the qualities of the Empress. And yet, nothing's happening here right now. It's a failure, so to speak. So this could be talking about what they wanted and didn't happen yet, and maybe they've just kind of said, no, I don't feel the same about this anymore. I'm holding my feelings back. This can also be saying, because of the cards at the bottom of the deck here, somebody could be overindulging. This is also a card of overindulging, or being overly emotional. It can be extremes, overly emotional or holding back your feelings, and that could be causing a breakup here of some kind. But there's communication about maybe the good old times, or something they can't let go of, memories from the past where they had a fight about something maybe. This could be bickering and fighting and competition. And it's causing them to, I don't know if this is your person or both of them, causing them to evaluate, gee, is this for the long term? I'm just not sure this is for the long term, and I don't know. Could have caused some kind of a loss of money, but this can often talk about letting go. Now, I want to ask, that wasn't quite the dirty dish we wanted it to be, probably, right? For those of you. That wasn't very nice of me. Let me get another deck here. I want to ask how your person feels about the third party. And I may come back to this in a second. How does your person feel about this third party currently? What are their feelings for the third party? What are your person's feeling? My collective's person's feelings for the third party. Yeah, this Empress here threw me off. I'm just, what is that about? They want expansion. They hoped for that. This looks like a failure to launch. All right, show me please. How does my collective's person feel about the third party? Do you not want to talk to me? Let me turn it over. Sometimes that works. Show me how my collective's person feels. Nope. Sorry guys, we're going to go to a different deck. He doesn't want to talk about it. All right, well, ask this deck. Would you please show me my collective's person's feelings for the third party? Come on, team. These people have things to do, places to be. Can't be here all day shuffling. I do just take flyers, so. Patience is a virtue. However, this is starting to wear on my last nerve, as we say in the South. Almost. Let's see. How does this person feel about the third party? Oh, well, I don't think we want to know that. Well, what? That's interesting. What? It says how they feel. It's a very heavy burden. This love that they have for the third party is a very heavy burden. Well, what does that mean? They feel they can't fight for this anymore. They're getting a new perspective. They feel like there's mind games there. Hold on. Yeah, holding back. There's that Nine of Cups in reverse again. Maybe some truth coming out about some kind of deception. But, whoa, before I do that, let me, I like to get jumpers up. Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah. So, your person, as I mentioned, is saying, this is a heavy load, a heavy burden, these feelings I have for this person, but I do love them. I can't move on. I can't move to calmer waters with this person because there seems to be arguments and difficult conversations happening here, difficult communication happening. Now, your person could be saying, but financially, we're just focusing on the money and working hard and the stability part. But there's some kind of healing that's taking place here. In other words, sometimes this means a timeout, like they're not even speaking. Now, I don't want to get your hopes up, but sometimes that's what that means. There needs to be healing because somebody here is saying, I don't think I can fight for this anymore. Maybe your person or somebody, your person's person is saying, I want to be liberated from this. I want to be single because I just feel like it's taken all the strength out of me. And I'm feeling overwhelmed, or maybe it's taking all the strength out of them because they've been juggling something here in this situation. So they're pulling back, they're isolating. I don't know if this is your person or the person, but this is how they're feeling. It's one or the other. I think it's your person because of how we asked the question. And they're holding their feelings back. Yeah, they're not giving, even though there's love there, they're not giving the feelings. And so they're feeling right now like maybe this is a missed opportunity. And I think your person is hoping or wanting or trying to be released because they think this situation is toxic. They need to be released. Now, there could have been some kind of addiction here, obsession. And I'll say that, or could even be obsessive thinking because that's this Eight of Swords talks about analysis paralysis. Why can't I start new? Why can't I do this? It seems so risky to go out and start over again or to start a new beginning. Now, I don't know if they're talking about a new beginning without this third party or a new beginning with this third party. They are having an epiphany, though, at a crossroads, okay. Well, keep asking questions here. I said we're going to dig. We're going to get some tea here. Let me ask, let's see if you want to talk to me now. How does a third party feel about your person? How does a third party feel about your person? You know, this almost feels like unrequited love here, guys. That maybe your person's person doesn't love them in the same way. How does the third party feel about my collective's person? It's funny, this deck has been the most talkative one I've had for a couple of weeks now, and suddenly it's clamming up. I don't want to talk about that trash. It wants to talk about something more spiritual, I presume. I don't know. Who knows? Do you know? Okay, one more, and then I'll have to pick another deck. Okay, all right. Doesn't want to talk. Let's see if we can find a deck that does. Let's get, if I can get it out of here. Oh. All right. Can you tell me, please, how is the third party feeling about my collective? My collective's person. And then the truth of it is, maybe Spirit's saying we're being too nosy and we shouldn't ask. We shouldn't meddle in somebody else's business. And I do believe that's a thing. So if this deck doesn't want to tell us, I'm going to let this go, guys. And I'll ask a different question. Because we don't want to create any bad karma for us by asking if we're not supposed to. One more. I'm shuffling almost, we're barely holding on to them. So I guess we're not supposed to. Not going to tell us that today, all right? How about this? Let's ask. What is the potential future of this relationship? This deck or this one? I'm going to try it one more time. What is the potential future of this relationship with my collective's person and the third party? Well, it's unstable, causing them to lose their confidence, feeling weak. Money might be bad. Learning lessons. I'll show you the cards. See, now it wants to talk, right? And yet somebody wants to still give their cup of love. I don't know, though. Whoops. Let's see. There it is. I expected that. So somebody here is being non-committal. I don't know if it's your person or them, your person's third party. Somebody here. So I feel like this very well may be a case between your person and them, third party, of unrequited love. Because I've got somebody here who very much wants to talk about their feelings, wants to express and give their feelings. And somebody who's saying, no, that's too risky for me. I don't want any things. I just want, you know, that's often the card. We call it the player card. Let me take off my bracelet 1 second. That's kind of bothering me. But in the reverse, it can be even more of that in and out behavior. It can also be meaning too risky. They think, wow, this is risky business here because it's toxic. This is the devil. Now, this can talk about addictions. Somebody here may have an addiction going on. That may be what this heavy burden is. If your person may say, well, if that person's addicted or something, that would explain why it's such a heavy burden. But it can also, predominantly the Devil card talks about a toxic situation where somebody here is being held back. It's anything really that holds you back from being the best version of you, from moving forward. This is being held back for sure. But it basically means toxic. So that does not bode well. Can you give me one more, please? All right, so we see the direction. Potential outcome is it's going to turn toxic. Yes, this we see. And then, oh, geez, I hope not. By the way, if any of you are Scorpios, I'm also releasing 2 other videos, Scorpio videos, about the same time I'm going to release this one. And my readings are all timeless. So that being said, if you are Scorpios, I think that you might want to look at those, some similar energies here. I am hoping and praying that, well, I shouldn't say that. It's not my business. In the future, despite this toxic energy, there is some kind of either expansion and passionate new beginning, or somebody here, because of this passion, could be getting pregnant. I hate to say that, but because they were out in the cold and they want to come back for this passion. They were out in the cold. They want to come back. Somebody gets, I don't know, kicked to the curb for a minute or whatever. But then there's a lot of passion here is all I'm trying to say. There's a lot of passion between these 2 people. And in the future, it's saying there is more expansion. Very possibly for a very few of you, 1 or 2 maybe, there is a pregnancy here. Because the King of Cups, or somebody here now, you know, we had the Knight of Cups, but somebody here is saying, now I'm ready to give my cup of love. I'm ready to talk about my feelings. Oh, interesting. I'm ready to talk about my feelings. I'm trying to be patient and trying to harmonize in this situation. This is also the divine trying to balance energies. But there's been deception here, some kind of lying and cheating about very possibly another person. I've got 2 kings here now. Well, actually, technically, no, that was in this part of the reading, I've got 2 kings and judgment in reverse. So this actually could be a whole other side story talking about after the fact, maybe they don't reconcile, and maybe, or judgment can also talk about people not being willing to awaken in the spiritual sense. But they just say, I'm tired of this conflict and constant competition, so I just may have to write this off as a missed opportunity. Things are coming to light that I may be at a one of these are feeling they're at a crossroads about exactly what they want to manifest. And they're realizing there is some kind of imbalance, injustice, maybe even some bad karma here. And somebody here may be codependent. But they're starting to get clarity about that. They're starting to get clarity that even though they continue to fight for this in this relationship, somebody here's not changing. And I've got 2 cards back to back of somebody not willing to change, not willing to surrender in a way that they need to. Yeah, so, okay. So it looks like to me, one person feels and the other one may just want passion. Even though I have this 2 of Cups, it's it's hard for me to think purely about this as I would in some readings because of the way it came in. A heavy burden. This love is a heavy burden, and I need to move on to these calmer waters. So that to me makes me feel. And then down here, I have one person coming with wanting to offer their cup, but then somebody else here saying, I don't know if I really want that. I just want to have the toxic good times. Maybe that's what they're saying. I just want this. Do you know, I know this reading is getting long, but I want to just, this deck. I want to pull on this Empress. Tell me a little bit more. Clarify this Empress, please. This person is passionate. Yes, we know that. With the third party, tell me about this Empress card. And then tell me about this Five of Pentacles. I don't know what I said. I might have said Five of Swords. That's Five of Pentacles. Show me this Five of Pentacles, please. Yeah, missed opportunity. Didn't I say missed opportunity? Missed opportunity. Yeah, and they're not happy. Whoever this is, somebody's out in the cold down here in the end. Okay, they're not moving forward. Let's see. Let me see. A couple more, please. What is this Five of Pentacles? Yeah, not. Yes. Anything else? Didn't I see that up there? Maybe. Okay. Well, all right. I wanted to clarify because I asked about the potential future of your person with the third party. All right. So that would, I mean, the Empress is, let me back up. Queens and Kings in my readings are people, represent people. I don't always see the Empress as a person. Sometimes she can just represent qualities, like I said, nurturing, creativity, expansion. It isn't always a person for me. So that's why I wanted to ask what this was. And so I get this, somebody here feels like they're spoiled for choice, or they have options. And maybe they think this person is their soulmate, and yet they've ended a cycle with them, and they hurt. This is hurting. This is breaking their heart. And it could be because this person wasn't giving equally to the situation. Some kind of maybe even breadcrumbing. Sometimes that's breadcrumbing. Now, the Five of Pentacles, which just talks about when it's in reverse, somebody wanting to come in out of the cold, those clarifiers are the Ace of Pentacles, a missed opportunity, and I feel unhappy about that. Nothing is moving. Knight of Pentacles at a standstill here, and I feel at a crossroads about something that's holding me back. Again, this could be codependence, or my money's not good, or, you know, a number of things, but y'all, I know this is a long reading, but I'm just trying to get a little bit more of the picture. Tell me what this devil is. Should I ask them? What is this devil? Okay, waiting for my ships to come in. Maybe waiting, timing. And yeah, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So somebody here might be too focused on money. And I mean, maybe this person's, one of these people is with the other person because they're hoping it's going to change their fortune here in some way. I don't like the sound of that. Okay. Again, this has the feel to me of a little bit of, or has a little bit of a feel, for some of you, let me restate that. For some of you, this feels like unrequited love. I'm just looking again at this Empress. She's so fertile. Look, she's like the Garden of Eden kind of nature and nurture all in one here. And maybe this person feels, your person, their person, feels like this is a soulmate, as I said. But then maybe the other person feels like, I don't know, I want to go explore my other options out here. There's a lot of fish in the sea. And they might put it into this cycle of this, which causes heartache. And it might be, again, this is card of imbalance. Somebody here isn't feeling the same, perhaps. So, that's a whole lot of cards on my table right now. I wish you could see my table. So maybe this relationship was all about the passion, and that was just way too toxic. And in the end, because I don't know I don't do time frames in my readings, because of free will. People have free will, so I don't look at that. You know, if you know how to create your powerful manifester, you can collapse timelines. But whoever this is that's being put out in the cold is saying, I don't like it out here. It's cold. I want to come back. Now, this is your person in third party. Either because this is happening, or maybe they're saying, this is what's happening. I'm put out in the cold. I don't like it. But something's not moving here. I'm not happy. Somebody's being codependent. It could have to do with money. Again, a missed opportunity. I just feel like I can't do this indecision anymore. I'm not happy. I'm not going to move forward here with this. So although I really don't have the quintessential cards of an ending, this Five of Pentacles, somebody has to be put out in the cold to start with for this to say, I want to come back in. So something here, the thing I would take away from this collective is there is some kind of toxicity, very toxic energy here in this relationship. And it could just be, they're saying it's just about passion and money. That's all we got here, passion and money. There's not really, one person has feelings here, but I don't see that coming through on both sides. So again, I think this is, and I don't know who's who. It feels like maybe your person has more feelings for this person than vice versa. So I just feel like, yeah. I don't see, like I said, any towers or Ten of Swords to indicate that this is ending anytime soon, but doesn't mean it couldn't happen tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope this has helped somebody out there. Again, you're powerful creators. You have the ability to change this if you get busy getting happy and telling the story like you want it to be. You can always change this. But for now, I would suffice to say this is the takeaway here, this toxic energy here in this relationship. All right, gang. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you'll come back and see me again. And until then, I'm wishing you many, many blessings.